come through. I can show you the current wind speeds across the area. They're fairly gusty at this point, mostly out of the south ahead of the front. This is your sustained wind between 15 and 25 miles per hour. It is gusting higher than that, and that's ahead of that main line. So really easy when you look over towards Murray, Kentucky, to pick out this front. Now the front is moving at an incredible rate of speed. The actual front will be clear by about 7 o'clock tonight. So we're looking at right here as that line of storms begins to approach the land between the lakes area. That's where we've got the greatest potential to see some stronger storms as we head into the evening hours today. Main concern with this, damaging straight line winds. As I mentioned, the possibility of a few isolated spin-ups, not impossible as well. We do have a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll take another close look at those, and then we'll put some storm tracks on those for you. Now, because this is likely going to come through the downtown area between 2 and 4 o'clock, we're not expecting this to necessarily impact your New Year's Eve plans as the ball drops tonight. However, folks trying to get out and about, maybe trying to get to whatever your plans are, that may be a concern as you head through the afternoon. If you're driving through this, it'll be fairly unpleasant. Now, the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Houston and parts of Stewart County, that's in effect until 1 o'clock tonight. That will continue to move. It's actually weakened just a touch, but this may perk up even as it heads into parts of Montgomery County. Areas north of that, we have again the tornado warning to the extreme north, but then closer to the Hopkinsville area, this is that severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 1:30 today. Storm track on this, the leading edge of it, moving around 50 miles per hour. That puts it into Hopkinsville just after 1 o'clock, so in the next 5 to 10 minutes. It is, again, of course, that leading edge where you'll find the most significant sustained wind speeds. 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible, especially since the actual line is moving at 50 miles per hour. It's easy for those winds to translate down to the surface. If this can hold together, that would, of course, put it into parts of Todd County, closer towards the Trenton area around 120. And then if it can hold together, it would eventually move towards the Russellville area. Backing it out, I want to show you one more look at the big picture here. I, of course, have an eagle eye on this. We do have a tornado watch in effect for most of Middle Tennessee. This is in effect through 7 p.m. tonight. There's also a wind advisory in effect for most of Middle Tennessee, and that is through 6 p.m. And that's because of the strong straight line winds that are expected across the area today. So wind really remains the primary concern. Quick timing on this for you as we head into the evening hours tonight. We should start to see conditions improve once that leading edge passes you very quickly, and it'll race through the area. You just saw it go through, and I'll back it up for you. This is 12:30. You see that leading edge as it starts to move towards the Clarksville area, putting it into downtown between, this is 2:30, around 3 o'clock this afternoon, and then we'll see that line continue to push closer towards the plateau as we head towards the evening hours tonight. I mentioned that Storm 5 alert that's in effect for the evening hours. That's because of the tornado watch in effect through 7 p.m. tonight. This is a look at those watches and warnings. So the pink area across Middle Tennessee, that is a tornado watch in effect till 7 o'clock tonight. The severe thunderstorm watch, that's for areas north. So that includes our Kentucky counties. That's until 6 p.m. So we'll continue to see this line generate very strong straight line winds. So we'll have a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings possible today. Not impossible that we would see a few additional tornado warnings as well. So it's really important to make sure you've got a way to get that weather information. Our Storm Shield app is a great way to take radar and warnings with you on the go. The darker yellow colors that you see through parts of Todd, Christian, and down into Stewart County, those are severe thunderstorm warnings that remain in effect. And then, of course, that tornado warning just has a few more moments to it right on that northwestern edge of Christian County. Notice that the eastern part of Middle Tennessee not included under any watches. That's because as we head into the evening hours tonight, we're actually expecting things to begin to weaken somewhat. Because we did have around an inch of rain last night, it looks like we'll get another inch of that. It's not impossible to see some localized flooding, but we're not expecting that to be terribly widespread as we head into the evening hours. Your bigger concern as you head out to New Year's Eve plans would be some localized flooding, perhaps some ponding on roads, or a brief rise around streams, creeks, some of our more flood-prone areas. Widespread, long-lasting flooding, not a concern. Another quick look at the timing as to what this looks like as we head into the evening hours tonight. The leading edge is where the strongest wind will be found. It's also where the heaviest rain will be found. So that is expected to be right on top of Interstate 65 around 3 o'clock. Behind the line, there will be some light persistent rain that continues. So even through 5, 6 o'clock, it's possible for more rain to fall in Nashville proper. I'm talking to most folks along Interstate 65. The closer we get towards 8 o'clock, we begin to dry out. If you are in our eastern counties towards McMinnville, over towards parts of Putnam County, into our higher elevations, a few stray showers as we head towards the ball drop tonight. Not impossible, but I don't expect them to be terribly long lasting. I will tell you that because we have had so much rain across the area and because we have the additional storms, that'll likely set the stage for murky conditions tonight as well as fog. Fireworks tend to enhance fog. They add enough pollution, enough particulate matter to the air that can create pretty low visibilities as you head into the evening hours tonight. So here's another look at that line of storms that's starting to work in from the west. The northern part of it, if you cut it in half right along I-40 and look to the north, that's where the strongest segment is, and that's where we have the severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, and then that tornado warning that has less than a minute for it for northwestern parts of Christian County. It's within this line that we'll have widespread swaths of damaging straight line winds, but we are not expecting widespread, long-lasting tornadic activity. Along this leading edge, it is possible to have a few brief spin-ups, though, and so that's why we want you to be weather aware. Here's a quick storm track on this, and then we'll get you back to programming as this football game gets started. We'll continue coverage on our News Channel 5 Facebook page throughout the afternoon hours. Right around 1 o'clock, this takes us into the Hopkinsville area. So just in the next couple minutes, we'll see you on the News Channel 5 Facebook page.